What is going on, fellow board members? Welcome to another episode of Ord's Board. So it's super interesting when I come across something, let's say a TV show that was canceled before I even knew it existed. So that's exactly what we're talking about today, guys. So apparently Disney was in the process of developing a revival Muppets TV show for Disney Plus. First time I'm hearing about it, so I decided to look into it. And yeah, so this whole thing has been scrapped at this point, which I'm really disappointed about. I would love to see a revival of the Muppets. It's like one of those things. I think with the Muppets, it's they come out, they've got a lot of steam, and then for whatever reason, people seem to not care anymore once all said and done. And then they bring them back, and the cycle repeats itself. But I would love to see, the Muppets do a revival, especially after the show that they did called The Muppets, where I think it only lasted one season. And I don't understand why, because what I saw of the show I actually really enjoyed, but I just don't think it was getting the attention that they expected to get. So anyway, so Disney was developing this series for Disney Plus, their streaming service, and it has now been canceled. I have this article right here. This article comes from tvline.com. Muppets revival scrapped at Disney Plus. Yeah, so I think there's some good things that come from this, and then we'll talk more about that once we get into the article. But sorry, Kermit, Disney Plus is not moving forward with its planned revival of the Muppets. Sorry, Kermit, not going to happen. Actor Josh Gad, who is set to write the new series titled Muppets Live Another Day, along with Once Upon a Time creator Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis. I think I'm botching those names terribly. Confirmed the news with a tweet Monday stating that, this is in quotes, have decided to step away from the Muppets Live Another Day. Sometimes creative differences are just that. So apparently they decided to scrap this because of creative differences. We love this franchise so much, and I truly wish them all the best. So it sounds like these guys are totally they're scrapping it and moving away from anything, Muppets, apparently, with Disney Plus. So the reason I think that this might be a good thing, because if they're having creative differences, I think it'd be better to scrap a show or a movie, if there is the creative differences, because then you run into bad storytelling, and then you have stuff that people don't want to see. And with the Muppets, coming in and out of having their show for the season, for the one season, and trying to revive the Muppets back when Jason Segel did it in the movies. If it's not good, I'm not saying that Jason Segel's Muppets weren't good, because that was great. I loved that movie. Anyway. I love Jason Segel's work with the Muppets, but if for whatever reason it didn't seem to hit as well as I'd hoped it would. So again, with creative differences, if they're deciding to scrap this, it's probably for a good reason that they're deciding to scrap this. So that does ease my mind just a little bit. Gad has since posted a longer statement on Instagram expanding on the vision that he, Horowitz, and Kitsis had for the show. You notice I have to really focus on pronouncing those names. The vision that they had for the show, it was going to be Muppets by the way of Stranger Things. Oh, man, I would totally love the Muppets back in that time era during the 80s. That was really, I think, the heyday of the Muppets. Let's see. And feel like a movie spread over 6 to 8 episodes. He wrote, part of the joy for us by placing the Muppets in the middle of the 1980s, exactly, guys, exactly, was to subvert and comment on our current love for all things nostalgia, which nostalgia is such a huge market right now. And I think that has to do with, as us millennials are growing up, and me being on the older side of the millennials, we see the state of the world it is now, and we look back at our childhood and how much easier things were and how much we enjoyed Saturday morning cartoons and shit like that, man. We enjoyed these things, and life is no longer like that. People can't seem to take jokes anymore. People can't let art be art anymore. And it really pisses me off. But I think that's why nostalgia plays such an important, it's such a marketing tool with our generation. But anyway, I would have loved to see the Muppets or do something with the Muppets back in the 80s. Was to subvert the comments. Okay, all things nostalgia. Well, at the same time, allowing the characters to tell a story that would ultimately lead to an end in the present day, revealing some secrets along the way. So it sounds like they were going to cover a huge span of time. So maybe even more than one season. So if they do like a 6 to 8 episode season, then they would have to do a season 2. I mean, to fit a lot of that in one, 6 to 8 episode season from the 80s to present day. That would be a lot. So I think what they were thinking pretty big with this show. They were really hoping that this was going to be a hit, I think. And unfortunately, we'll never know. Muppets Live Another Day would have picked up right after the events of 1984's The Muppets Take Manhattan. And you know what? For Muppets Take Manhattan, I always thought that was such an interesting Muppet movie. One that kind of stands alone, being a musical, like Broadway feel to it. It does kind of have its own little thing, but still very much in the vein of the Muppets, the classic Muppet style. So yeah, I would have loved to see more stuff after that. With Kermit gathering the old gang together once again, which they did in that movie. Well, the gang was together. They were going to college, and then they went to New York to try to break into, Broadway, and then they all separated, got back together, did the big show. If you haven't seen the movie, you see it. It's great. It's good for families. It's good for adults, kids of all ages, especially big kids like me. So anyway, with Kermit gathering the old gang together once again to search for a missing Ralph. Why would Ralph be missing? The series was first reported to be in the works back in February 2018. So apparently they had a pilot order set for this show. I don't think they filmed anything. Let's see if we find out. The Muppets, of course, first broke through with the 1976 to 81 series The Muppet Show before launching a movie franchise. ABC attempted to bring them back in 2015 with a mockumentary-style sitcom titled The Muppets. But that was axed after just one season. Kermit and the gang, though, will still be seen on Disney Plus in Muppets Now, an unscripted short-form series first announced last month. I didn't even know that was happening. So apparently they have this free-form Muppet show that is going to be called, what did they say? Muppets Now. So I think in the early 90s they had Muppets Tonight, which was Kermit doing a talk show. He was a talk show host. And that actually introduced some new characters into the Muppet family. And actually some really, really good characters that we're actually able to use to play off or you play really well with the traditional Muppets characters. I could sit here and talk about Muppets all day, guys, so this video is going long. I apologize, but hopefully you're still with me here. So new series announced last month, guys. I look forward to that, and maybe we'll do a video on the upcoming series for Disney Plus. I wonder if it's going to be available on launch of Disney Plus. I'll do a video for that, guys. Kind of give you an update on what's going on with this new show, with Muppets Now, and what Disney's doing with them. But anyway, guys, unfortunately, this looks like this Stranger Things-esque Muppet series is canceled and scrapped, unfortunately. But I'd rather them scrap it and not come out with anything than come out with a bunch of garbage that nobody wants to see. I always wish good things for the Muppets. I always will, even if it's bad, I will continue to support the Jim Henson Company. Big part of my childhood. Anyway, guys, can't wait to see what Muppets Now has to offer and what Disney Plus is going to do going forward with the Muppets and Disney Plus, because I feel like there's a lot of potential within that. But anyway, guys, that covers this article. I'll leave the link below to the article if you want to go back and read it. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please hit the bell for notifications. And as always, please hit the subscribe button. I could always use more subscribers. And guys, as always, I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching from the bottom of my heart. We will catch you guys on the other side. Peace.